Okay, picking up where we left off, we were in the middle of changing individual cell properties by making, for example, text bold or centered or justified to the left or to the right. And to tell you the truth, this looks ridiculous. So to make this look a little better, I'm going to light up all the cells and turn all the lines on. Okay, now you can kind of see it a little better. See how the numbers are lined up correctly and the text is lined up correctly? Cool. Okay. That's some pretty good technique, but once again, this is not a technique for APA. We're done with the APA, and so this is just showing you some cool things you can do. Now, some of the other things that you can do is you can merge cells together. So, for example, let's say I want to combine these three cells into a single cell that says something else. All I basically have to do is light up the cells I want to merge. Okay, and right click, and one of the things is merge cells together. So instead of having three cells, I'm actually going to have one. And so now, I mean, it looks dumb. I might want to change the text in there. Checks to say, I don't know, months or something. Cool. Now, once again, if you want to undo that, same thing, click anywhere inside this guy, and then you can go in and say, you know, I really don't want that anymore. I want to split them back. Cool. And then, of course, how you want to do that. One of the things that a lot of people have trouble with is making a table go away. Like, let's say I've got it so messed up. It's like, look, I just want to start over, okay? You know, I'm screwed. Screw this table. I just want to start over from scratch. So, if I was to light all this up and hit delete, just hang on. Light all this up and hit delete. What I'm doing is I'm deleting the text content, not the cell, not the table itself, which is kind of weird. So when you want the whole table to go away, I need to have some way of telling it I want the whole table to go away. So click someplace in one of the cells, and then you know, delete cells kind of a thing. That kind of sort of worked, right? You know, kind of sort of. But I can light them all up, and now I get a thing that says delete table, which means I want everything to go away. Now, if I had not previously deleted the text inside the cells, this would do that as well. Obviously, this makes the whole thing go away. Doink. Okay, cool. So that one's tough. If you haven't deleted a table before, that could be a little tricky. Okay, a couple more things and then we'll be done. One is, again, nothing to do with APA. I want to be able to do searches for text inside my document. So here we go. I want to hunt for a particular word. I want to hunt for Mary. I know that exists a lot in there. So I want to be able to do a find. So where would I find the find? Okay. Well, it's hiding way over here in the corner. Way over here in the corner. So I click find, and I can type in lamb or Mary. Okay. So I can type in Mary and hit return, and it lists all of the Marys in my document. This is a really cool way of listing them all. If I just want to see them all, it shows the context in which they're in. I could just have a kind of an outline view or a page view, or of course there's a section view where these things exist. Cool. Now there's another way you can do this. If I just say, excuse me, if I go in here, I could do it this way, where I just go to the next version of the word over and over again, except this little box is kind of in the way. You know, I can't see everything. You know, you'd be constantly kind of moving it around to see if it's above or below. So a lot of people don't use this. They use this little navigation view instead, which is actually pretty doggone cool. All right, the next thing to do is, let's say that, for example, I didn't want Mary Had a Little Lamb. I want Mary Had a Little Cat. So I want to be able to locate all the lambs and change them all to cats, or vice versa. So I'm going to go here to replace, and I'm going to say find all cat, and change it to lamb as an example. And then I could say replace all, which would go through every single place where there's cat and change it to lamb. Or I could just go through one at a time like this and just say yep, yep, yep. And you can just say yes. You know, I could skip that one, say replace, replace. Or if you're confident, just say go ahead and say replace all and be done. Cool? And so now it's done them all. Kind of a cool thing. So I know the keyboard shortcuts for these guys because I use this a lot. Control F is the find guy. Okay. Control H is the one for replace. Control A. I don't know what H stands for. I assume Control F for find. H, I have no idea other than perhaps they were just running out of letters of the alphabet. But anyway, I use this Control H stuff a lot. And it's sort of like a spell check kind of a scenario where you go through and you approve the change. You either say, yes, I'll approve, or no, I won't. Yes, no, back and forth between these two buttons to search through your document, making changes as you go. Okay. A couple more little tweaks, and that is these dang tab stops. I showed you how you can go in and tweak one. I didn't really explain much more about it because we had picked one that was already built and we just modified it. So I'm going to go in here someplace, and here we go. Let's say, for example, I wanted some names and columns of some sort. So I want, John. It's sort of like a table. I want John, and then I want his age. And so I'm just going to hit the tab key here and type his age is 42. And Sue is 12. And Mary is 99. Okay. So what I've done, I just hit the tab key. Now the problem is that might be a little tight because John might have a real long name. John long name. Well, now they're not lined up anymore. Sue has a short name, and so I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on here? I wanted all them numbers to line up. So what I need to do is I need to change the default tabs. Because right now, I don't have any tabs, just the default tabs. Now, this is the part you have to pay attention. Whenever you're changing tabs, you got to make sure you lasso the paragraphs for which the tabs are associated. Not just anywhere. You can't, if you click on just the first line, all you're doing is changing the tabs on one line, which is not what you want. Okay, so I grab this, and up here, you can see this little guy right here, and it talks about a left tab. If I just click on this box, it will cycle through the different types of tabs. So that's a center, that's a right, and that's a decimal tab. Okay, so, and here we go. We just need to keep going until we get them all. Okay, so left tab. So what I want to do is I want to put a left tab out here on the ruler, and I want to line it up where I want it. So I'm just going to grab this guy and just, whoops, once I got the correct type, I have to cycle through. Just say, click on this guy where I want it. So for example, I want it right here at 2. See how I did it? Like, pop that guy over. That pretty cool? Alright, so instead of age, let's say that this is something else, his credit score. So he's got a 402, and she's got a 99. Well, now things aren't lined up right. You know, doggone it. Because, I want all my numbers to be flushed. So what I need now is a different type of tab. I need a right tab. Okay, a right tab. Because I don't want them to line up on the left. I want them to line up on the right. Okay, cool. So once again, I'm going to lasso all 3 lines. Go here and change this. First of all, to make a tab go away, this is cool. To make a tab go away, you grab the tab and just drag him off into space. Isn't that pretty cool? So once I've got my right tab fixed up here, I just go to the ruler and I click where I want it to go, like right here. And now all the numbers are lined up. Isn't that pretty cool? So that was an example of a right tab. Now we've used the right tab in the heading, but the machine put it in there for us. We never actually did it ourselves. Let's do one more, and that is, let's say for example that one of these numbers is a decimal number and then the others are not. Okay, but I still want them to line up. Some of them have a decimal point, but I want them to line up on the decimal point now. You know what I mean, right? Okay, so there's yet another type. And that's this guy. So I grab this guy and put him in here. I'm going to have to make the other one go away. And then let's stretch this guy out because I can't see a blessed thing. Oh, now see, that was the rookie mistake. I didn't light up all the columns. Okay, let me make these guys go away. Alright. Now I've got this guy. Click on him someplace. Dag it. And now they all line up as if there was a decimal point there. It's one of those as-ifs. Okay, kind of cool, huh? So kind of play with the tabs. Most people are only going to be dealing with the single type. Just the traditional left tab to make everything line up on the left, That's perfectly normal. We do use the right tab inside our heading, so that's why I'm going to the motion of showing you how those guys work. Okay, I believe we've reached the end. This is a good place to stop, and we'll catch you guys again in some other video.